MindsEye was one of the games that was hyped to be on the same level as the GTA series. Some people went and even called this game a GTA 6 killer. Since then, I decided to wait for the game to come out so I can try it before rating the game. So, that's exactly what we're gonna do today. Join me to see if this game is actually worth the hype or is it just a flop. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Only Thing Gaming channel. MindsEye is an ambitious sci-fi action game from Build a Rocket Boy. Led by former Rockstar veteran Leslie Benzies, it promised a conspiracy thriller with cinematic flair, a sprawling open-world city called Red Rock, and a narrative revolving around ex-military Jacob Diaz. As mentioned before, the game is set in a sci-fi world. Our protagonist Jacob Diaz is an ex-military guy with a planted chip in his neck. The chip nearly destroyed his life as he even has memory issues because of it. His best friend Seb gets him a security job in Silvercorp, where he tries to find out more about his implant. The game's main focus is the story mode. All in all, the story mode is kinda good. I was surprised to see that many characters in the game are likable, especially Jacob Diaz. And don't get me wrong, everything in the story can be better, but it also can be much worse. It's like one of those movies you weren't planning to watch, but one day you turn the TV on and watch it and actually enjoy it. There are a lot of surprises and betrayals in the story mode, but to be completely honest, the story reaches the peak after you complete about 70% of it. But don't worry about this, the game isn't really long. It's about 10 hours long to be exact, in my opinion. The only bad things in story mode are the long drives between missions and the checkpoint system, because in some missions, if you fail, the checkpoint can throw you back more than need be, if I may say. Before we move on with the video, don't forget to help the video reach more people by pressing the like button, help the channel grow by subscribing, and don't hesitate to leave a comment. The gameplay in MindsEye isn't really impressive that much. It consists of 4 aspects, those aspects being driving, combat, flying, and some occasional minigames for hacking or controlling your DC. Driving is really mediocre at best. All the cars have the same weight, it doesn't matter if you drive a truck or a sports car, the difference is really minimal. The game's physics really don't help, as bumping into a small rock on the ground can sometimes send the car flying for no reason. But the game's physics are really a mystery for me. They can surprise you with how good they are, and they can surprise you with how bad they are at the same time. Combat system is really done well here. The third-person shooting is really satisfying, and the game has a wide range of weapons and tools to choose from. You can even use your DC to shock targets or hack robots to make them fight for you. And you can target robots' legs to immobilize them. And that's what I meant when I said physics can surprisingly be good or bad. The weapons wheel is really annoying. Trying to choose diagonal weapons in the wheel can be a struggle. But your worst enemy in this game is going to be the AI. And I don't mean the AI controlling the enemies, I mean how the AI is controlling them.
Yeah, keep talking, Claudia.
You should really take driving lessons sometime.
Yeah, right. But seriously, the AI in this game needs a lot of work. I felt like I was playing an unfinished game, as sometimes cars can even bump into each other on the streets for no reason, and the city can sometimes go crazy. Just watch this clip and see for yourself. The progression in the game is totally linked to the story. There's no skill tree or shop in the game. You unlock weapons and tools as you progress the story. Even the open world is unlocked through progressing the story. And speaking of open world, it's about time we talk about it. The open world in MindsEye is strange. It's not your typical open world game, as the open world unlocks after completing about 60% of the story missions. So it's not like open world game that give you 1 or 2 introduction missions before you unlock the open world. The game is basically linear until you unlock the ability to free roam Red Rock City. Side content in the game is very limited. I only found memories for Jacob where I tried to free a captive in time limit. Honestly, I haven't enjoyed the free roam in the game, and in my honest opinion, they should have just kept the game linear, as the open world nature of the game hurts the game and hurts the rhythm of the story because of the long boring drives you have to do between missions, as we mentioned before when we talked about the story. Despite having the visuals and the performance in the same section of this video, I'll talk about each one separately before we link them to each other in the end of this section. Mainly the reason that made me do this when I wrote this review is that I wanted to take time to talk about each of them, as visuals are really good and deserve to be praised, while performance is poor and deserves to be criticized. Visuals in the game are really impressive. Facial expressions in cutscenes are really good. Jacob's character model is really good, especially his hair, and the game's graphics are impressive in most shots. I managed to capture some shots in the game. I'll show them for you, and I want you to try and figure out which graphics settings I'm using in those shots. I know I might surprise you with this, but I'm using low settings with medium textures. Not only that, I wasn't playing at full 1080p, I was using 80% resolution scale. That's because the game's optimization was really poor, and before we talk in detail, you can see my PC specs on screen. I locked FPS to 30 and used FSR frame generation to reach 60 FPS. FSR wasn't working as it should at all. I used quality option and some elements in the screen got pixelated, so I decided to use TSR and manually lower scale to 80%. The game's graphics settings feel unfinished. I can even select DLSS despite having an AMD GPU. Despite not using FSR for upscaling, I used it for frame generation. And as you might have guessed by now, it wasn't doing a good job either. Ghosting was obvious and clear, especially behind cars when driving, as you can see in the footage, and for some reason, sometimes the game drops frames below 20 FPS even with FSR frame generation. My guess for the reason behind this was GPU memory. My GPU, the RX 6650 XT, has 8GB. Notice in this footage, memory usage is close to 8000 MB, and I want you to memorize the FPS we're getting. And here's some more footage from the same mission in the game. It seems that the FPS is more stable here as the memory usage is lower. I achieved that by simply quitting the game and opening it again. I'm not going to count this on the game because I have an 8GB GPU. But keep in mind, 8GB GPUs are still a thing in 2025. A good example on this is the Nvidia RTX 5060, which was released months ago. So, seeing the game's poor performance made me drop the settings, and I started wondering what if the game was well optimized. How would Ultra or High make this game look? Honestly, I might have a better visual experience if that was the case. And I know the game probably is playable on Ultra with a high-end PC, but they need to understand that not everyone has an RTX 4090 or 5090 in their PC, and the optimization in this game isn't acceptable. MindsEye isn't really a bad game, but comparing this game to GTA can easily ruin the game for you. At this point, we just have to accept that not every game is a GTA or a God of War or a Red Dead Redemption or any other beloved game. With that being said, my final rating for MindsEye is 5 out of 10. Keep in mind, the issues in the game are mostly fixable with updates. Things like performance, weapons wheel, physics, and AI behavior can be patched in the future. If you're watching this video in a future where that's the case, the game can be rated a 6 or even a 7 out of 10. I'm really curious to see how will this game look in about 5 years from now with better hardware and maybe solid updates. And if you want to try this game, I would recommend waiting until the game gets fixed. That's all for today. Make sure to hit that like button. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers before September, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you reached this point in the video, I would really like to thank you. It means a lot for me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see on your screen right now.